Good morning. Okay, so if you're watching this on YouTube, this is a live replay. I do this live on alternate Sundays on my Facebook business page, and then when I've finished I will load it to YouTube so that we can reach more people. The idea is to inspire, create and share, or share and create. Create, inspire, share. Doesn't matter which way around, it's all the same thing. So the idea is to just share some ideas, and I'm going to share a technique today that I did share midweek on my social media, but I didn't share a video on it or any real details because I knew I was going to do it today, and that is repeat stamping without a stamping tool. And everybody was like, oh my gosh, how have you managed that? You must have a really good eye, blah blah blah. My eyes are as wonky as I don't know what. Okay, I've got very bad hand-eye coordination, but I was able to do repeat word stamping very easily without a stamp apparatus or a MISTI or whatever it is people use, and I'm going to show you how. Okay, so I've pre-cut my pieces. Let's see if anybody's here. We've got 7 watching. Hello, I don't know who's there. Let's have a look, see if I can scroll on my... I've got to be careful I don't knock the camera. If I suddenly make a dive, it means the camera's falling, and I've gone to rescue it. But we'll manage. Let's have a look. It's not coming up on my thing. So what I'll do is I'll scroll through the comments later and say hello to everybody. Thanks for coming. Do appreciate it. It's not a bad day today. So what I'm doing is, I was very inspired by a card made by my lovely friend Rachel Doohan, who's an American demonstrator, and the other day, I think it was yesterday, she made the most beautiful card using 2 of the new colours. I think these were the colours she used. I didn't actually look, if I'm honest. I just assumed that she used the Misty Moonlight and the Bumblebee, and they really went together beautiful. So that's what I'm using today. I've used the Misty Moonlight paper. I've got some silver card here that's out of my stash. It's not genuine Stampin' Up, it's contraband. Alright, but I'm just using what I've got. I've got a small piece of Whisper White that I'm going to stamp on, and then I've got a small strip. This is from the Flowers for All Season. And just that tiny strip there, that's some Misty Moonlight as well. So that'll just help pull the colours together. So this is a standard, this is a European card size. So that's 11 3/4 by 4 1/8, scored in the middle at 5 7/8. I've put a piece of cardstock inside already to save time, and I do that on coloured cards obviously so you can write, and it also adds stability. So that measures 4 by 5 3/4. Alrighty. So this strip measures 1 inch by 5 7/8. Okay, and then I've written down the sizes of the silver card measures 3 1/4 by 5 3/4. All right, and then my stamping layer measures 2 7/8 by 5 5/8. What we're going to do is we're going to do the stamping, then we're going to layer this onto the silver board. Okay, right over to the right hand side, so there's just a small lip. Okay, and then this side will be wider, and I've done that on purpose because then we will attach that to the card, and then we'll layer our paper over the silver card. Now the reason I'm doing that is because the silver card is slightly thicker, and when I layer that on the DSP it doesn't look as nice, so I'm doing it the other way. To me, in my mind, it looks neater. So that's why those measurements are done like that, and you must adhere all of these pieces in the order that I show you for it to work, otherwise that'll be too wide. I've cut that purposely so there's a small, so it'll go just slightly underneath and overlap ever so slightly. It just adds to neatness. Okay, for me, because if you measure them and you want them butting right up against each other, it's always very difficult, and then you could get a really slight gap and it can look a little bit rubbish. So it's always better if you just slightly overlap, just ever so slightly. Method in my madness, there always is. So I'm just going to move my card out the way, and these pieces out the way, and I'm going to show you how we're going to do that repeat stamping. Let me just have a look, see if we've got any comments, see if I can scroll. Let's have a look. Notifications on. Ooh, who's here? Rena, Patricia, who else is here? Ali Marshall, Sharon King, hi, all the way from Australia. Anne Kirby, hello, lovely. Celine Watson, lots and lots of ladies. I won't read them out. Oh, our Steph's here. Hiya, Stephanie. And I know my lovely Karen will be there in the background. Sending lots of love to Karen today, who's not very well. So she's watching from her bed. So I hope you're all right, darling. Right, so I want the one that says thanks. I love this set. I can't believe how many different sentiments you get in it. So the technique that I'm going to show you should work on whatever stamp set you use, whatever words you use to do repeat stamping. And there's a way of doing it so that it lines up nicely. These are all beautiful as well, but I'm only using the one today. There's 19 in there, but I only need the one. Typical. So I'm just using the thanks, and I'm going to... what I'm going to do is I've got this grid mat. It's a glass mat, and it's one that I had sent from a lovely crafty friend a long time ago, so I don't know where she got it from. Probably Amazon. Everybody always asks me, you know, I'll show 10 million stuff of Stampin' Up, and then they ask me where my glass mat comes from, which is the one thing that I've got that's not Stampin' Up. There you go. But I do love it because if I get glue on it, it scrapes off. Obviously, the ink just wipes. The grid the grid paper's great as well, but you know, this I've had maybe 5 or 6 years, and you know, it'll never run out. So if you can find one, get one. So what I'm also going to need is my what have I done with it? My thingamabob to clean the stamps in between. Here we go. I've got my Simply Chamois. Alright, now it looks all dirty and stained. That's how it goes. But you just rinse it under the tap. The ink comes out. I keep it in one of these storage cases. You can get these. And every so often I'll throw it in the washing machine to make sure it doesn't go mouldy. Just throw it in the washing machine, but don't put fabric softener in. Alright, and you know, I'll put it in with tea towels or whatever. It's always been fine. It still works. So I've got that to one side because obviously I'm going to be changing colours. So I'm going to need to clean my stamp in between. Alright, so the first colour I'm going to start with is Misty Moonlight. Alright, so I might just put my card like that on the wonk a little bit because I can't stamp straight. I have to have it, you know, when you're writing a letter, I have it like that as well. I don't know why I do, I just do. Alright, so we're going to start, ink that up nicely. Make sure it's all inked up nice. And then I'm going to start right on the edge here. I'm using the top line of that card as my guide for straight, and I'm just going to stamp it. Okay, I might just stand up to do this so that I can see right. Alright. Okay, in fact, we'll just go from the A. I'm going to stamp from the A. Okay, so I'm starting on the A there. So I'm not even stamping all of it. Okay, and then I'll ink it again. And then what I'm going to do is very carefully, I'm going to re-stamp. But I'm just going to start stamping from the K. So the K is going to match my T and my H underneath there. So my T and my H directly under the K and the S. Alright, and you're just using the... Doesn't even matter if it's not perfectly straight. Don't worry about it. Okay? Like so. And remove. Okay? Then clean your inky mess. Give it a good clean. Alright, make sure it's all off. Alright, and then I've got an avalanche happening on my desk over here. I've got tape on my mat there so that I can see what you can see. So I know not to go out of the lines. Just a little tip. So now I'm going to do the Bumblebee. Now I've not stamped this colour before. I think I might want to... Do I want to try it? Do I want to test it? Or am I just going to go for it? I think I'm just going to go for it. If it's horrible, we can always blame Rachel. Okay, it's her fault. Alright, so I'm going to stamp there now in that gap as straight as I can with that one. Okay. Alright, and then what we do is we re-ink and we go in the space here. Alright, just doesn't matter if it's not perfect. Just go in that space there. Alright, and that's what you do. And then what we're going to do is, with the same colour, you go underneath the K and the S again. So you always keep the same colour going, and the first 2 letters match the last 2 letters of the same colour. All right, like that. And then down here, so we're going under the K and the S. All right, and that's how you do it. There you go. All right, can we go now? Are we done? I'm just joking. So then I will ink up my stamp again, and I'll go just there. I've just got to fill them blanks in now, haven't I? That's all I'm doing. All right, and there. I'm going to end up with a very inky mess on here, so I'll have to be careful afterwards that I don't smudge all over my card. All right, so we're just keeping going. And then ink that again, got under the K and the S, like that. All right, super simple. Keep going. And then we'll change to yellow. All right, so you've got the general gist. It's very, very easy, and it should work no matter what what word you're doing. Just repeat stamp following the last two letters, and then just fill the bits in. Okay. So there again, under the K and the S with the T and the H. Don't get any easier. And then I'll just do it there as well. All right, then clean off my ink and go back to blue. It might take you a while, but you know, not everybody has the stamp apparatus. Not everybody has a Mister. You know, not everybody can afford it. Some people might be on a limited budget. So if there's ways and means of doing the same thing, then that's all good, isn't it? Nobody has to miss out on a technique. All right, there might be companies out there that have got a stamp like this, complete, but, you know, we're able to do it in different colours, aren't we? So we'll just keep going. You've got nothing else to do on a Sunday than watch me stamp anyway, have you? You know. What do we do on a Sunday? What does everybody do on a Sunday? I generally catch up on my housework when I'm not working, because I do work some Sundays. So once I've done this, I will be having a bit of a tidy up, going and doing some barring housework. It's as exciting as it gets. Okay. And there we go. All right, clean it off. I would also like to try and make a nice meal on a Sunday. Sometimes during the week we end up with what I call quick food, because, you know, we both work full time, so we have what I call quick food. On a Sunday, I like to make sure that I cook about £500 worth of vegetables and meat, and then my family all like to just not eat it, and then I spend 5 hours washing up, and yeah, that's pretty much it. That's a bit of a tradition. I don't know if you have that in all countries where you have a Sunday roast. That's what we do in England. Okay. I hate washing up, but it's pointless. Should have just, if it wasn't for the environment, I would have paper plates, but you know, we've got to save trees. And I don't have a dishwasher in this house, it's too small. Right, so nearly done now. I managed to keep you entertained while I've been going. And just finish that down there. Don't matter if it's not perfect and it don't run right to the bottom, just keep going. Okay, just keep doing it. All right, let me do that bit there. And there we go. And then we just want a little bit of blue there, don't we? All right, there we go. Ta-da! All done. Righto. So I'll just clean my block off. We will be doing another one of these. I need to just decide what colour I'm going to do it in. So what I'm going to do is just quickly shut my lids, and then we'll start and construct the card, and then we will be putting a sentiment on, etc. So let me just give that a clean. Another good thing. Ooh, that's a nice squeaky, horrible noise. I'll just make all of your teeth squeak. Alright. Hashtag sorry not sorry. There you go. Right, I'm only kidding. Right, so now what we're going to do is start and layer up our card. Okay, now I'm using glue for the bottom layers, and then our sentiment, our stamped part there is going to go up on dimensionals, and then we're going to add some sort of ribbon, but I don't have one in the right colour, so I'm going to have to adapt something from my Crafty Hard. I'm sure I'll find something. I'm a big believer in, if you can't find quite the right thing, just have a look, see what you've got in your stash and make it work. You know, just saying on my group today how we always save things just in case they come in, and I happen to save this little piece of this ribbon here. I was sharing on Stamping for All earlier that I saved a stick. I'll show it you. So I saved this stick which came in a bunch of flowers, because you know it might come in useful. You never know when you're going to need a stick, when you're going to craft something where you need a stick. So it'll probably end up in my craft room for about 25 years, but you know, it might come in useful. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to trim some of this down, and what I've done is I don't want it the full thickness. It's a random piece, I think it's actually retired, but I don't have any Misty Moonlight ribbon, so I'm using this. I'm just going to trim it. I don't want it that wide, so I'm literally just going to make it suit my needs by trimming it down, and then I'm just going to attach it on, I think. Don't quite know yet. You know, anybody that follows me on YouTube, I will very much start making things. I have an idea of what I'm doing with a project, and then halfway through I'll very much start just making it up because I don't really know what I'm doing. But I think that is crafting. You shouldn't always know what you're doing, because a creative process is always open to change, isn't it? Right, so I'm gonna what am I gonna stick that down with now? That's gonna be too right. Okay, so I'm just gonna put some tape in the middle at the back of my paper. All right, and I'm gonna have to attach it like that, because otherwise it's not gonna work. Okay, so bear with me while I just make this bit up. All right, so it's roughly in the middle. Wrap it around. Okay, is that in the middle? Fairly. It came up on my Facebook timeline this morning that this time last year I was in Greece on a cruise. I went on a few cruises last year. I can't remember if it was this time last year we were on the Stampin' Up one, or whether it was one of the ones I went on with my family. I forget. I forget, but I was in Greece. So when I saw that this morning, I just thought, oh, really? I'm a bit depressed, if I'm honest, because I wish I were there now. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a faux knot of some description, I think, up here. I think. Let's have a look. So I don't know if I'll be able to tie that in a bow. It'll have to be a bit of a make it up as you go along, Amanda knot. Right, I know what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to trim that off, and then I'm just going to fray those ends. I'll just fray them. That's what I'll do. Let's have a look. Okay. There we go. So I'm just separating those strands, because it's too thick to try and tie in a bow. Is that it wouldn't work. All right, there we go. So we've got that kind of frayed look now. It'll do. That looks all right for me. I'm happy with that. All right, so now I need to attach this onto my mirror board. Okay, so let's have a look what I'm going to stick that on with. I think I'll use red line tape actually, just because I've got that ribbon on as well, and because I don't want to get glue all over that mirror board. You could use tear and tape. In fact, I might use tear and tape. Tear and tape will do it, which is the Stampin' Up one. A bit of tear and tape on there, and on there, Okay. So that's that ready, but we don't want to put that on yet because what I want to do is we need to put this on first. Alright, so I am going to set it up on dimensionals and then I'll show you the position of it so that it all works. Let me just clear my desk a little bit. Okay, you could use foam strip if you've got any. I haven't, so I'll have to use 1,000,000 dimensionals. Just bear with me. Well, not 1,000,000. I'm prone to exaggeration, I'm sorry. It's one of my flaws. I tend to exaggerate. So I'm told. Okay. Okay. There we go. Right. Give them a press. Okay. And then we'll remove them. 1, 2. I don't know why I have to count them. We're not counting them. We're just going to remove them. Okay. So as I say, I may well load this to YouTube if it will load. It doesn't always work very well transferring Facebook Lives to YouTube. I find that my laptop doesn't like it and refuses to upload them, but we'll see how we go. There we go. Not everybody likes to watch lives on replay because they can be a little bit long. Right, so I'm lining this up as far to the right. That's where I want my little increment to be. And we just want about 1/8 of an inch. No, yeah, about 1/8 of an inch there. So a tiny increment there, equal there, top and bottom, larger increment there. Because we're going to add our paper. Which way round's that? That way. I want my bow up there. Let me just slide my bow up because I've put it on upside down. Alright, so give that tape a press like so it'll release easier. And then when this is done, I'll go and have a look at all the comments and see what you're all up to and who's around. I do appreciate you all coming and joining me. I'm always grateful whether you follow me on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, where else I'm on, Pinterest, back of a bus, wherever. I'm everywhere. I try to be because I just love sharing my crafts. Right, so I'm going to stick that on there. Alright, very carefully, and because that overlaps the silver, I've used tear and tape. I've not got glue all over my silver board. Alright, and we've got a nice neat join, so it doesn't look ugly, don't look fat and chunky. I don't really like that white bow there, but never mind. I'm not really keen on it. So this is the first one I did, and I used ribbon, and I tied a bow, and I thought that's nice. I don't really like this. It looks a little bit like a drunk bleached spider, but never mind, we're gonna go with it. I might take it off after. In fact, no, I don't like it. I'm just gonna take it off. I'm sorry, drunk bleached spider, I don't like you. You're gone, you're off. Right, and we'll just have plain. There you go. Right, so now we've got rid of that, let's do our sentiment. So I've got just a piece of scrap here, and I think we need to have it in the blue. I think the blue will, because we've got blue card and blue paper, I think we need it in the blue. Alright, so I'm just going to stamp one there, straight as I can. Okay. Hopefully that's stamped nicely. That's alright, isn't it? They are nice stamps, those. I mean, look at that, it's perfect. It does dry a little bit lighter. As you can see, it goes more like, it is very much like a denim colour. It's lovely, and it goes beautiful with that bumblebee colour. I'm just blowing it because I don't want it to smudge as I'm cutting it. Right, so let's have a look what we're going to do. I'm just going to use my little chopper. I was lucky enough to get one of these. Don't know if they'll sell them or if they'll do them as a deal again. I don't think, these aren't in catalogue, are they? I don't think they are. I love it, mate. I think it's really useful little tool. Right, so I'm just, where do I want it? About there. Okay, so I'll get it where I want it, press it down, chop, sharp as a sharp thing. It's brilliant, I love it. Right, so now I just need a small piece over this, don't I? So let me just cut myself a piece out. How big do I need it? Don't know. Not planned this far yet. There we go. I just need a piece about that big. I'll do. And then again, because it's a silver board, I'm guaranteed to blob glue everywhere. So I'm going to stick it on with tearing tape. And that way I know I'm not getting glue all over and making it a mullock of it. Okay. There we go. Little secret as well for you today. I'm actually still in my pyjamas. To me, there's nothing better than chilling on a weekend in my pyjamas in my craft room. It's like my little piece of heaven. I love it. Absolutely love it. Get off. Alright, so let's... I bet... how many of you are still in your pyjamas? I bet lots of you are. Right, so let's line that up there. Okay. And that's on there nicely. So then now I can trim that with my little chopper. And it will be perfect. Okay, so about that. Oops. Didn't have the plastic guard down, so it got stuck then. And about... Hold on. Want it straight. I'd quite like it to be straight, if I'm honest. You know, I'm not being fussy, but I'd like that to be straight. Let's have a look. Have I done it? Ta-da! It's not bad. It'll pass. Right, and so we're going to put that on dimensionals. Okay. Not doing bad with these wonky eyes of mine today. There we go. There we go. Get off. They get everywhere, these. I found one on one of my dogs the other day. Dimensional. Don't know. It is what it is. Right, so where am I having it? Where shall I have it? I'll have it, just think I'll have it that there. So I'm going over that one there. So it's not quite on the top, it's not quite on the bottom, it's kind of in the middle and just across. That's not straight. Let me just lift it up. No, that's too high. Oh my gosh. There we go. There we go. All done. Alright, so we've done it. And that's a lovely card. If I had the blue ribbon, I would put the blue ribbon on and tie a bow. I've had a really nice white one. I'd tie a bow, but I haven't, so I can't. I'm using what I've got. But I think that's really nice. Like I say, that's the original one that I shared. Oh, I've just blobbed a little bit there. That's the original one that I shared to show you another colourway. And that's on gold mirror board. And I have tied a ribbon there. So there you go. I hope you'll give that a try. Thanks for joining me. Let me have a look at some of these comments, see if I can see what anybody's saying. We've got 23 with us now. Hi, Steph. Steph's sending me hearts. Hello, lovely. Let's just scroll and scroll without knocking the... Eileen, hi. Hello, Tracy Abrahams. Lovely to see you. Catherine Hull. Angela Redman, hello. Alison Gibson. Amanda's here. There we go, Sarah Higg, Amanda Malenzi, Patricia O'Sullivan, hello lovely. Oh, look at all those lovely ladies and all those lovely comments. I will read through them all when I've done. Hello Rebecca Sessions. What's she saying? Fancy coming to do my ironing? I don't do my own ironing, Steph. That's one thing I don't do, unless it's something that I'm going out with. You know, if I'm going out and I need a fancy shirt, I don't do ironing, me. Oh gosh, life's too short for that. Right, so there you go. I'm going to leave that with you. I hope you have a lovely Sunday. Go and make some cards. Go and do some crafting. Creating is good for you. It's good for your mental health. It stops us all going bonkers. And, you know, and then we'll all be nice and relaxed and ready to face the week ahead. I hope you have a lovely day and I'll see you all again soon. And we'll be here, not next week, the week after. Alright, so not next Sunday, Sunday after. I will put an advert up on my group so that you don't miss it. Thanks for watching. See you now. Bye.